I am Angie Lynch. This is
Christina Crane.
And we're going to talk to you a little bit today. We talked to you on our last live about Are You Stuck?
Right.
And we talked about a couple of things in there in that stuck in a place of mediocrity. I read something last time. I'm going to go ahead and read this again. The most dangerous place to be in is a situation where it's too bad to stay living this way, but it's not so bad or it's too good to uproot your whole entire life. So you end up living in this place of just meh. So
Right.
you don't really understand that you're stuck, but you manifest and exhibit all the symptoms of being stuck.
Yeah. And we were saying earlier, your life is too good to want to mess up the parts that you feel like are good and potentially change and alter those, to go for the change and go after the change that's going to move you out of being stuck, because change can feel uncomfortable.
Yes. Change gets people in this weird place of they want to experience something different so badly.
Yeah.
But it's like the fear of the unknown paralyzes people. It's like I can intellectually see that this might be a better way to do this, but it's like I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So last live, we talked about Are You Stuck? This live, we're going to talk about how to get unstuck. So let me read. I'm going to read John 10:10, and I'm going to read it from the King James. The thief does not come except to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Now, we want to have abundant life. Like I said, we're talking about this mediocrity just position that a lot of times we'll take in life where it's like, it's not so bad, or it's not my life isn't fantastical, magical, can't even talk today, magical unicorn status.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I should be grateful. It's not bad. So we really do get stuck in that rut. I'm also going to read John 10:10 from the Passion Translation. A thief has only one thing in mind. He wants to steal, slaughter, and destroy. But I have come to give you everything in abundance, more than you expect. Say that with us.
More than you expect.
Life in its fullness until you overflow. And he really does. The Father is good. He wants us to have an abundance of things, more than we can expect. We're talking about, in our workshop last night, we were talking about finances. And one of the things that we didn't get to is talking about our dreams. And what is funny to me is we have to open up our hearts to dream. But the thing is we think our dreams are too big. But in reality, you can never dream a dream bigger than what God has dreamed for you.
Aww.
It's like we have an inability to do that. So we're like, oh my gosh, we're being so bold by saying this. And then God's like, that dream bigger. Dream bigger. And that's a lot what I believe what he expects for us in life, not expect like puts on pressure on us. But he wants us to have an expectation of life and to have an abundance of it, an excess of it, that we as Christians, sometimes we think we just need to be these poor little Christians just eking by, and that is not how your Father intends for you to live.
That's right.
So let's get some people unstuck.
Woohoo.
The first thing, we're going to go through 12 points. But the first thing that I want to talk about is, one, you have to recognize that you're stuck. That seems like an obvious thing, but even like say when people come in for counseling, they'll have a quote, a problem, but when you start questioning them, then they start backpedaling. They're like, but it's not that bad. But, well, I don't know.
Yep.
Like you really have, if you want to get unstuck, you're going to have to get to a point where you say, my life is not working as is.
Right.
But don't come in and talk about all the ways in which it is working. Like we're not trying to be negative, but we're focused on, okay, what is not working? Because that is what we need to get unstuck from. But we as Christians, a lot of times we can't complain. We can't be upset. We can't have something not work in our life. So we can't really get into a place of reality where if something in my life isn't working, it's not my fault. It's not bad. It's not anything other than data. Sometimes we go through seasons where something used to work and it no longer works. And if we don't pay attention to that, then we are going to get stuck.
Yes.
Stuck like
Chuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in the mud. And if you don't recognize it, if you're not willing to step up and say, wow, this isn't working right now, and I need to try something, I need to do something different. But at first, I have to admit it. Mm-hmm. Admitting it is always the problem.
It's always the first step.
I'm sorry, the first step of the
yeah.
having
a problem.
Solution.
Yeah, it's the first step in the right direction to look for a solution. And I think the questions we had last week, I think really are great questions to ask to figure out if you're stuck and where you're stuck. And I think with the points that we went through, I think it really illuminated to a lot of people, oh, wow, I am stuck. Maybe I didn't know that or acknowledge it. Or because a lot of times people have to get really, 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 really stuck before they come in here. But
it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
If you get used to understanding what happens when you get stuck, you cycle through that a lot quicker, and then you're able to recognize when you're stuck, and you could admit it, and then it's like, oh, I'm stuck. Let's figure this out.
Yeah. You can be more proactive in it.
You really can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 2, I put down reflect on the cause. Now, I don't mean that you have to like turn your world upside down, but if you're stuck, you kind of want to investigate. It's kind of like a picture you're in a car and your car gets stuck in the mud. You might want to get out and be like, oh, okay, this tire over here is stuck. You kind of want to see what got you to where you were. What's interesting though in an analysis, self-analysis, I would say, some self-examination, is you have to understand that your identity is different than your behavior.
Right.
Because when you understand that, you can look at your behavior, you can look at your process, you can look at your situation, you can look at your circumstances, and you don't have to feel like a loser because your identity is always very steady. It's what Jesus says about you. It's what God says about you. And that's always steady and stable. So you can look and say, okay, I was doing this, I quit doing this. And sometimes we get stuck because there's a season change. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you at all per se, except that you got a promotion and what you used to do doesn't work. You change seasons, what you used to do doesn't work. But we get, I think, so consumed with beating ourselves up and blaming ourselves. So when I talk about like reflect on a cause, reflect on what's going on, reflect on how you got stuck, we are not beating yourself up. That's not what we're doing, because you will indeed get stuck again.
Yeah, you're just looking for information.
Yes.
You want to look back on it for information. You're just gathering data is how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
So that going into it next time, you will have some information about, oh, that got me stuck, so let me try something different.
Yeah. Because it really is about thinking what's working and what's not working.
Right.
Some things you might be able to pull through with you, to the future, to the solution. But some things are just like, oh, wow, you know what? I used to do that and that used to work and it's just not working anymore. So we need to eliminate that. Sometimes a process breaks down. Sometimes you have to tweak how you're looking at something, or sometimes you get a mindset revelation and it's like, wow, I've got to shift. I've got to finish shifting that mindset. So there's always a cause why we get stuck. We don't want to get marred down in trying to beat ourselves up about it. We just want to figure it out so that we can move on to number 3, which is
be intentional about the changes you want to see.
Yes. When you reflect on the cause and you figure out, okay, why did I get stuck? Maybe it's as simple as you quit doing what you used to do. Maybe you quit hanging out with some of the people that were really a huge support system for you. And as you've quit hanging out with your God squad as much, you feel your mood going down. You feel your motivation going down. And so when you looked on number 2 and you reflected on it, you're like, man, I am not hanging around and doing the things that I need to do to stay on the course and the trajectory that I'm choosing to do that. So what do I have to do? I have to be intentional. You have to be intentional how you're going to set your life up, because you're not going to just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to get over here and just magically appear. You do have to arrange your life to support your choices.
Right. And intentionality is huge.
Ooh, with everything.
Yeah. You have to be making intentional choices to move you in a different direction, to get you out of that stuck place. And like you said, oh, I haven't been hanging out with my friends. Then you have to intentionally make a choice, because you're not going to realize that and then go, oh, now I want to hang out with them. You're going to probably want to run from them. So you're going to have to make intentional choices that might feel uncomfortable in the beginning.
Yes, very much so. And just even looking at like, okay, you know, when we talked about number 2, the cause, like, why am I not wanting to hang around my friends as much? Is there something that I'm doing in my life that I think that they won't agree with, or just trying to kind of figure it out? Because with intentionality, kind of what I would say a sub point to that is you've got to build routine into your life. If you're going to be intentional, you have to say, okay, I'm going to do A, B, and C, but you have to build that structure. And by structure, you have to build the routine into your life. If you want to write a book, you can't just, if you say today, I want to write a book, a year later, you'll be saying the same thing unless you build some routine around it. What are you going to have to do? You're going to have to set aside some time to write. You're going to have some bit of a plan, not like a rigid type of thing, because you always want to allow for the Holy Spirit to be able to unfold things. But at the same time, if you don't create the structure which to hang your intentionality on, you won't get to where you want to get to.
Yeah, and I think accountability in it is huge too.
Yes.
Just bringing other safe people into what you're doing and the intention that you're making, just to say, hey, you know, this is what I want to do, but I'm stuck. And I don't have the ability to push myself to do this, so I just need some accountability. And having safe people around you that you can do that with, I think is huge.
Yes, so you can create check-ins in your life. Hey, let me check, can I check in with you? I'm going to set this, I'm an intentional choice, and I'm going to build a routine around this. And with accountability, can I check in with you? Would you check in with me on this? Very important. Do you know that when you start running with the right tribe, when you have your God squad, like they really will help keep you on track with where you want to go, because your God squad really is going in the same direction you are.
That's right.
Yeah. So those are exciting points.
Yeah.
Number 4 is remember your why. I know Simon Sinek wrote a whole book on this, but it's so important. Why? Because ultimately, to back up for a second, what we're talking about is you're stuck in your purpose. You're stuck in moving forward. Even if it's like a sub-purpose that you have, or it's like part, of your race, part A, leg A, leg B of your race, you have a why you started this and why it's important to you. And sometimes we have to get that inspiration. That's actually not me go too far. I won't go too much into inspiration. But if you remember why you began to do what you began to do, why do I do? In a general sense, I want to bring freedom to everybody, because I know how much freedom has meant in my life and what it's done for my life. So I have a passion for everybody to experience the freedom that I have experienced.
Yeah.
My why? Why is my why? My why? Because it has set me so free. And I remember how difficult life was. I remember how just hard it is when you're just knocking up against life every day, and it doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
Why is your why?
My why.
What is your why?
My why. I think same thing. It's just I've experienced. I didn't know that you could actually get unstuck in situations and in things in your life that you've lived on the hamster wheel for. And now that I've experienced that, it's like, oh, this wasn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's challenging at times to run up against that wall, because it's going to hit you back for a little while. It's not just going to give way right away.
It's like,
but if you will stay the course, you will experience breakthrough, and you'll experience changes in your life, and you'll break through things and have freedom in areas that you didn't even know was possible. Things that you thought, well, this is just something I'm going to have to deal with the rest of my life. And when I learned that that's not the case, I want that for other people.
Yeah. And that really, I think for any type of giving or serving like purpose, you just want to give what Jesus has given to you to everybody. You want to give it away to everybody.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, when we have to, for number 4, when we have to remember our why, we have to get in touch with the Father and just say, Lord, just help me remember what just drove me to you. Help me remember the passion that I have for you, the why I got started in why I overall do what I do. Because I promise you, your mission, your purpose, whatever you're trying to get unstuck from right now, it's our race for him. It's our, whatever leg of the race we're in, our overall race that we're running is all about him.
Yeah.
And so
we all want to hear those words. Well done. Good and faithful one. Yes, well done.
Absolutely. So number 5, what is number 5?
We want to seek inspiration.
Yes.
It helps keep us motivated.
It really does. And like I said, once you reinvigorate your why, I love this is the next step that we put, because you automatically seek inspiration. That's what I love about that. When your why is activated, you just have this creativity that comes upon you, that you begin to see your why in everything. It's like, when you're doing this and like, oh, your why becomes alive again. And over here, it becomes alive again. It is so much easier to reactivate your inspiration than you realize it.
Yeah.
Because once you begin to redirect it and just kind of refocus, once you understand, wow, I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? Let me get some clarity. And you begin to get some of that clarity, you really do begin to see your inspiration again in everything. I find a lot of inspiration in talking to people. That's why, even with counseling and things like that, with teaching classes, people will just say things and it will immediately spark you into just, oh my gosh, yeah, it just reminds you of all these revelations that the Lord has given you, all these drives that you have inside of you. So I think one of the biggest inspirations is people.
Oh, it's awesome.
Don't
People
you
are
think?
very inspiring.
They
really
will
are.
say things and it just reactivates all these revelations, and
it does.
And you just can't. So, kind of what I'm saying is I think a lot of people, when they get stuck, they remove themselves, they isolate themselves from their people, from their tribe and society. And to get inspiration, you're going to have to plug back into community.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't do it without them.
No, absolutely not.
No, and I think that's another why that goes back for me is that, man, people are just trying so hard on their own. Ooh. And you don't have to do it on your own. And we're not meant to. And we all need a cheerleader or a coach or put somebody just in our corner. Yes. And so, but I think that also helps keep us inspired.
It really does.
Along the way.
Yeah. And just like you were saying, just we aren't meant to do it alone.
Yeah.
And there are people that God has placed in your life that will have wisdom for you, that will have ideas for you, that will have spark for you, that will have passion for you. And it will just keep you moving forward. I tell you what, there's nothing like hanging around people who have the same drive and the same motivation, and you can just keep inspiring each other. It's hard to stay stuck if you get the right recipe going.
That's very true.
Yes. And speaking of the recipe, number 6 is
practice self-care.
Yes. It is so important. I can't say it enough. Self-care is so important. You can't overflow what you don't have. If you don't have joy in you, you can fake joy, but people know the difference.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself, and not just at a minimal level. You have to have it overflowing so that it overflows onto other people. And self-care can look different to a lot of different people. What is something that really fills your cup?
I like to read.
Mm-hmm.
Reading. If I read something that's very inspirational or moving, I like that helps fill my cup. Just that time alone. Oh, I know, coffee shops. I love coffee shops. I was trying to think what's something I love to do. I like to read, but I love to just a good coffee shop, like the smell and the people and everybody's like, focused on what they're doing, and then you hear conversations around you of like friendships, and people are meeting for business, and I don't know, just the soft buzz of a coffee shop.
Yes, it was so funny that not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, somebody was describing a coffee shop to me. I'm like, I know that coffee shop because
I've been there.
She's
it's one of my favorites
to me. So I text her. I'm like, what coffee shop is that? And it happened to be the same. You were so excited about it and described it so vividly that when somebody else described it to me, I'm like, I've never been there, but I definitely know what coffee shop you are talking about.
Yes. What fills your cup?
Gosh, so many things. For me, I love humor. I love to laugh.
Oh, yeah.
And you and I know we send memes back.
Yes. And reels.
A lot. Mm-hmm. Yes, but I love people watching, but I think when I feel a little bit depleted, humor always
that's
fills
a good
my
one.
cup.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just different for different people. I love watching a good movie. Like sometimes I'll get on a movie kick, and like if we finished a project or we're just kind of going at it hard, I'm like, oh, let's go see a movie.
Yes.
Let's do something
like that. A good funny movie too, man. That's just fun.
It is. And so there's just so many things that can fill you. And I think when you get stuck, one of the things, like I said, one of the things I love about humor is because we all have those things that regularly fill us. Like, we can spend time with the Lord, we can spend time with our God squad, things like that. But sometimes we just need a new little something to break up the monotony, to break up the rhythm, to really like be a disruptor or an interrupter, to be like, give you like a fresh jolt. And so that you can see something a little bit differently, or that you can lean into it a little bit differently.
Yeah. One thing I've realized lately is I like to dance, and I haven't danced in a long time. So I'm trying to find like a fun adult dance class, but they're hard to come by. Well, as far as my searches have gone.
Yes.
But that's one thing I've learned recently.
Or I want to do, and I want you to do it with me.
What?
Is that
where they strap you in and you run and it like holds you. I know. I can't remember what it's called.
I
want to do that too. I think it would be so much fun.
But I'm convinced that I could do that.
Yeah.
But you know how it is.
We could totally do it.
Like, here's what
You're
I thought
in a harness.
It was going to look like, but this is what it really is.
We might have like a Pinterest veil kind of thing. Oh my gosh.
But
let's hope not.
It's like an acrobatic thing where you're like really just like.
You like run and you come up off the ground,
like
but you're in a harness. Yeah,
like bouncy things.
I can't remember what it's called.
It's like, how could we hurt ourselves? But I'm sure we might be able to.
Might be able to find a way. But it would be fun to try. I bet we'd go and love it.
I know. So that's also like, it really does when you self-care, and that's a sub point of this. When you're self-caring, do your regular stuff. But if you find yourself getting in a rut or getting stuck, try something new to fill yourself. That's why when we saw that, we were like, man, we totally could go do that.
Yeah. I have a new song right now that I'm like playing on loop. I'm like, it's just fun. It just upbeat. Makes me, brings me out of my rut.
Like I said, it's so different for each and every one of us. It's individual. But if you will ask the Lord to bring some joy into your life, I think that's such a huge component with self-care, is that whatever it's doing, it's filling you. It's filling you with love. It's filling you with joy. It's filling you with peace. No matter, and that's separate from circumstances. You could be going through the hardest time of your life, but yet at the same time be experiencing those things. So maybe we'll have to make like a TikTok or a reel if we go.
Definitely.
Like, hey, film us.
Maybe after we go a couple times, we'll go a few times before we reveal to the public.
Or maybe we'll film like the first time and then like 6 sessions later.
Exactly.
We'll be like, here's hope. Here's hope. And if you're just tuning in, I want to say my name's Angie Lynch. This is
Christina Crane.
We are with Truth Driven Ministries. And what we do is we get people unstuck.
We do. We work with stuck people all the time.
We do. We are a hospital for the hurting and a spiritual training ground for warriors. Let's move on to number 7.
All right.
Tell me about number 7.
7 is to stay positive and grateful.
Gosh, it's so important.
Gratitude is huge when you are in a place where you feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You want to crawl out of a hole, just start making a intentional practice of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll come out of that quicker than you realize.
You will. You just, it rewires how you think. Even about your problems, you can be positive. I was thinking maybe we should do, for this November, we should do remember we did the 30-day?
We did a grateful challenge in November. Yeah, that was, oh my gosh, that was so awesome.
It was.
Yeah, I remember I even got a flat tire that month and I was like grateful for it because I had a mentality of gratitude every day. So I was looking for a way to find gratitude in everything.
It totally shifts. Like even a flat tire. Thank you, Lord, that I have a car that can get a flat tire.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have cars.
I was in a safe place. Someone helped me change my tire. I was able to get, flat tires go. The spare will go flat. I was able to get to a gas station. Yep. Just looking for the good in it instead of oh no, another thing happened.
It is all about our mindset and attitude. And if you have like that little cliche, an attitude of gratitude,
it's true.
It's not wrong.
Yeah.
It really does shift how you think. And it just produces a different response to like if something comes up and you have an attitude of gratitude towards it, it just shifts even your physiological responses towards things. Your body stays calmer. It stays in a state of gratitude, and that makes a big difference on your hormones, on your neurotransmitters, on things like that. It
your
makes
nervous system
so much more than you think.
Yeah.
Will.
One thing that I try to do every day is, because I heard, I didn't come up with this, I heard this, but right before you go to sleep, if you'll think of 5 things that went well that day, just 5 things that worked out, it helps to set your mind in a place of gratitude before you even wake up the next day.
Yeah. And it really, I'll say, is all about habits. If you're in the habit of being grateful, if you're in the habit about being positive, I'm not saying like, just lie to yourself. I'm talking about a mindset of, okay, what can I be grateful for? And you get in that habit. It does make a big shift and a big difference.
It really does.
Next Saturday, 8:30 Central, be here for part 2 of How to Get Unstuck.